And then also the great affinity that we had, not just from learning the dance in the classroom, but going to the local temples, going to the village temple every evening, in the great Tanjore temple, and with my guru doing the puja, the prayers like one would in a Western church, with the lights and the drums and the music and the chanting and the flutes and the nadaswaram. And you know that does work on you. The real gurus, those wonderful men that taught the dance, very old, even when I was a child, they always wanted me to read the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads, because then my understanding of what I was supposed to represent would be more enlightened. So naturally, if you're told you're going to do Krishna's Bhagavad Gita, a certain portion from that, or a love poem, or you're going to dance Shiva creating the world, or looking amorously at Parvati as female half, all these things seep to your consciousness. And you develop this growing, well, one uses the word spirituality. Don't just dance as a god, be that god. Great ethnic American dancer, La Mary, who, as I told you earlier, I'd seen me dance in India as a boy, and literally begged and urged my parents to let me join her and her husband. She was a solo dancer, and she did dances of the entire East, and a very good Spanish dance, and the Martha Graham technique, the classical ballet technique, etc., etc., and She said, I would like your son to join me, because I would study and learn dancing from him, Indian dancing, but he'd be able to learn much from me, from what my experiences, which I finally did. I toured all over India, and then Burma, Malaya, Java, the Philippines, China, Japan. When I was then left on my own, I'd met this wonderful pianist, Polish pianist, Arthur Rubinstein. And he'd seen me dance in Tokyo, and said that I will give you introductions to Sol Hurok. In America, his impresario, the great Sol Hurok, who presented Anna Pavlova and Alicia Markova and Anton Dolan and lots of other European dancers. It overwhelms one. The values are so different there. The tempo and the rhythm is so tremendously powerful in the great city, a wonderful great city like New York. It's got such a power, such a rhythm, and such a variety. They said I was very humble and very innocent. You're a beautiful gold color, as long as they didn't say anything else. I was able to hold my guns, hold my fire. But later, when I came to the European countries, to England, I did have a few brush-ups.
What sort of brush-ups?
Well, once or twice, not once, or quite often in London, I could be approached at parties, at gatherings, at meetings, and someone would come up to me and say, can you speak English? And I'd say, yes, I can. Can you? And he'd say, what a lovely tan you've got. I said, I'm sorry, I can't say the same for you. You look such a horrible pallid white, and those green veins everywhere. Mm-hmm. But that was rather a hasty retort. In hotels, occasionally, I won't mention any names, some of the big hotels in London, there was a slight thing. Oh, we've got one of them coming in. If I entered the dining room, or a bar, or a reception room. But I found a way to cope with it, because I have a very quick reaction, a very quick triggered reaction. course, when I danced, that possession would come into me. And I think if you can bewitch yourself, and you can bewitch those who see you dance. Once I danced, once they'd seen me on the stage, their opinion of me would change. I first met Alicia Markova when Hugh Rock introduced me to her at the Met, where Anton Dolan and Markova were giving a season. And the first ballet I saw her in was Giselle, which I've always loved. And I don't think there's ever been, I didn't see the great immortal Anna Pavlova, but I don't think there's ever been, from all the performances I've seen from that time and subsequently, which covers about 30 years, I don't think that anyone ever has been able to touch the magic that Markova exuded when she danced Giselle. That was my first introduction of seeing Alicia, who was tiny, beautifully built, slim as a beam of moonlight, and lighter than thistledown. I've never seen a dancer in my life quite as light as Alicia Markova. She was pure air.
Thinking back, it was his very first performance in London, and it must have been, late 30s, before the war. I think my late partner, Anton Dolan, took me, and we sat in the box and we saw this fabulous creature and, of course, wonderful artist. And that was my very first impression of him.